This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Now at 7, coronavirus is killing more Hoosiers and the number of cases are rising.
At midnight, Governor Holcomb's order for you to stay home goes into effect. But what does that mean for the homeless who may not be able to escape inside of a building or home? We're getting answers on how the state plans to protect their health.
And tonight we are working to find out more about COVID-19 testing. We will show you the availability of test kits and why not everyone is going to be tested.
A local nurse on the front lines is now talking to RTV6 about the impact of people who are not staying home, how it's affecting hospitals and potentially your health too.
I'm ready to focus on rising temperatures and rain chances all over the next several days.
Welcome into the news at 7. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Just like everyone is being told right now, even in the RTV6 studio, Amanda and I are social distancing.
And that's why you will not see Mark and me sitting together. It's more important than ever to distance yourself from others and really just stay home. And that's because the state of Indiana is reporting at least 365 COVID-19 cases total. That's up over 100 cases from yesterday. And we are now learning the virus has killed 12 Hoosiers. That's 5 more deaths than we had yesterday at this hour. Half of the total deaths, 6, are in Marion County. So far, the state has conducted nearly 3,000 tests. That's about 1,000 more than yesterday.
In about 5 hours at midnight, the governor's stay-at-home order goes into effect, and that means everyone is being told to stay home except for essential workers and businesses and needed trips for groceries, medicine, and exercise. But what about the homeless who can't necessarily retreat indoors? What happens if they get sick? RTV6's Cameron Riddle questioned the state about this very issue. Cameron, what did you find out today?
Hey, Mark, good evening. So if the homeless do get sick, the state now has a plan and a safe place for them to heal, as going back to their secluded home is not necessarily a guaranteed option. Tonight, the state now has not only a plan, but the funds to take care of the homeless and slow what is now a global pandemic. The homeless population is already at a higher risk for a number of things, and coronavirus is absolutely one of them. That's why the state of Indiana will soon launch a safe location for the homeless to recover from coronavirus. State officials say if the homeless leave the hospital with symptoms, well, then they could easily spread the disease to the people around them. And it's even easier to do if they're going back home to a homeless shelter. Now, state leaders are working to take the homeless out of that growing equation.
We plan to accept the first individuals within the next few days. We will also work with additional communities to replicate this collaboration across the state of Indiana. A donation made by the Lilly Endowment that is unencumbered will enable us to do many things, including this incredibly important project.
So the state is not yet revealing exactly where that safe location is going to be just yet due to security reasons. They did tell us, though, that Eskenazi Health will staff that location and it will be secured and guarded by the Indiana National Guard. We're live at the State House tonight. I'm Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
We are also working to get answers tonight when it comes to testing for COVID-19. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum is learning more about the availability of test kits and explains the reason why not everyone who shows symptoms will be tested. She's at the State House with more.
The state health commissioner says there is a limited number of test kits available. So at this point, they are doing targeted testing, focusing on the most at-risk populations. These are some of the test kits being used to help diagnose cases of COVID-19. These are from Roche, just one of several companies making test kits. They're being shipped all across the state and the country. Testing now available in every Indiana county. Roche is making 400,000 tests per week, and Eli Lilly is processing 300 to 400 per day. With more tests being done, the state health commissioner says she expects the number of positive cases to rise. The state has done about 3,000 tests so far. Right now, about 13% are coming back positive. The true number of cases may be higher than reported because at this point, there are still not enough tests for every person showing symptoms.
Individuals that are sick should stay home. If they're doing well, they don't need to be tested. Again, if they have contact with our highest risk populations, or they are at high risk themselves, or they get more ill and need to come to the emergency room, then testing is indicated.
She says clinicians on the front line make the ultimate decision on who receives a test. Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
We're already having a problem with having enough beds.
A nurse working to stop the spread of COVID-19 is speaking up about the dangers of not staying home as advised by the governor. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you to share the ripple effect of ignoring warnings and how it all impacts hospitals right now.
We've all seen the images of young people at beaches, but you also see a lot of younger people out and about.
Kaylee Sills is a registered nurse. She's seen what most of us cannot get access to during this time.
The new data that's coming out is saying a lot of younger and younger patients are becoming sick, and not just sick, but seriously.
That's why she's speaking up. She says with more and more young people putting themselves at risk for getting COVID-19, instead of staying inside like they've been told, while the virus might not take their lives, the fact that those same young people need to be treated too can tie up nurses and doctors whose expertise is being spread thin right now.
What they're taking away is not just gloves, which we're running short on, masks, which we're running short on, gowns, face shields.
She says right now it's crucial to listen to Governor Holcomb and stay at home through April 7th.
We're using our medical supplies, whether that's the gowns, the masks, triaging and taking care of, younger people that have gotten sick because they didn't heed the warnings.
Speaking of supplies, RTV6 has been checking with Eskenazi Health, Ascension St. Vincent, Community Health Net, IU Health Net, and Franciscan Health to see how they are doing in that area. We've now gotten responses from 4 out of the 5 hospital systems we've reached out to asking about supplies and staying stocked during this time. We're asking questions about preparedness and inventory during the pandemic. Franciscan Health says they have an adequate amount of masks for right now, but they are evaluating the situation as they go. IU Health is doing okay with supplies, but they are accepting masks, sanitizers, and glove donations. Ascension St. Vincent says they are expediting shipments to stay ready. Eskenazi Health says they are all right for now, but anticipating additional supply needs as patient need increases. Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
And you can find each hospital's response to our questions about supplies when you read this story on theindychannel.com. Social distancing and good hygiene are key components in slowing and stopping the spread of coronavirus. We can't say this enough. You should wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. You should wet your hands first before applying the soap. If soap and water are not available, hand sanitizer is the next best thing, but it must contain at least 60% alcohol. So what's the difference between coronavirus, the cold, and the flu? This chart from the Cleveland Clinic and CDC sums it up. With coronavirus, you could have a sore throat, cough, fever, body aches, tiredness, and trouble breathing. With a cold, you usually won't have a fever, but you could have the other symptoms. And the flu, you will have all of the same symptoms as coronavirus, except headaches and sneezing are often common with the flu. You don't typically find that in coronavirus.
Indiana University will provide free Wi-Fi access in parking lots in its campuses around the state. It's for students, faculty, staff, and people who do not have internet access due to library and business closures. IU's Information Technology Services Networks Division set up hotspots so users can access the internet from their cars while maintaining social distancing. There are Wi-Fi hotspot locations at each IU campus. For a complete list, find the story in the IndyChannel.com and the RTV6 app.
The Summer Olympics have now been pushed back from 2020 to 2021 over COVID-19 concerns. World leaders say they do not want to cancel it outright, but still have to decide on the exact date on when it will take place in its scheduled city of Tokyo, Japan. This is all part of efforts to try to slow down the global spread of the coronavirus.
It's natural for Hoosiers to want to donate to help others during an unprecedented situation like the coronavirus. But tonight, the Indiana Attorney General's office says you need to be extremely careful before donating any money. Attorney General Curtis Hill says you must carefully scrutinize requests from organizations seeking donations they say is for charity, research each organization or cause before donating. Do not share personal info or financial info in response to unsolicited emails, texts, or phone calls, and do not feel pressure to donate over the phone. There's a lot of information to cover related to the coronavirus outbreak. You can find everything you need to know anytime on our website at theindychannel.com.
Rain returning this evening. You can see all of the clouds around central Indiana Indiana right now with our Weather Now camera network. But how long will this wet weather last? Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory here with the answer. Kevin.
It'll move out and give us time for the best day of the week tomorrow. More on that in just a bit. Heavier rainfall to the south, even there not too heavy, but just aside from the very light showers we have north of Interstate 70, you've got some spots there where the intensity is obviously more than that. Interstate 70 Terre Haute to Clay County and around Spencer, some showers. Those are all moving to the east. Then we've got this larger area where the rain's a little more modest from Columbus to Seymour. That'll head up toward Greensburg. We drift to the north, some very light showers in an east-west or west-to-east line. Temperatures, they're in the low 40s right now north of Indy. To the south, you're still in the upper 40s. But between now and, say, midnight, that's when the showers are most likely, and the light rain, that will continue to move away and set the stage for this. Temperatures that significantly warm up. We'll talk about all the details that come with that shortly.
Coming up on the news at 7, with all of the closures due to the coronavirus, we are highlighting who is still open for business. It's a new segment called We're Open Indy.
This would have been the week for the state basketball championships in Indiana. Instead, last year's 4A champs, well, Carmel has a whole new cause going into next year. I'm Dave First. That story coming up in our Sports Extra Spotlight.
Welcome back. Restaurants have been given the okay to continue takeout and delivery service during Indiana's stay-at-home order. RTV6 will be spotlighting some of them as part of our new We're Open Indy series. Brad Brown shows us how one local sandwich shop is paying it forward.
Much like many areas around the metro area, Mass Ave sits pretty quiet here on a Tuesday night, but this is now considered Takeout Tuesday. Many of these restaurants, as are many all over central Indiana, are open for takeout and delivery. One Indianapolis restaurant is using a busy day to give back to another local organization.
Here you go. We got the Brotherly Love Hog Island Philly Special.
Today is National Cheesesteak Day.
Like, she's from Pennsylvania and I'm from Pennsylvania, so we decided to take advantage of her takeout.
It's just been crazy. We've been busy.
Yeah, we drove from Westfield down here.
I can help you to your car. We'll take care of it later.
I couldn't get through on the phone. They were so busy.
1 second, okay?
Brotherly Love. It's a mix of meat and cheese, and it sounds very good.
I've never had one. Figured I'd get a Philly cheese steak sandwich and try it.
Thank you for your patience. Beautiful car.
Thank you.
Honestly, that's all we sell. I mean, we sold a few hoagies in between there, but I mean, the cheesesteaks are going like hotcakes. Mr. Mason, yours is coming. Randy. Oh, I mean, in light of everything that's going on with all the COVID-19 situation.
I'm at the white car right there.
And all the schools being out and all the businesses being closed. Yeah, we definitely appreciate all the support. We appreciate Indianapolis for coming out and seeing us. Thank you.
15% of Tuesday's sales from Hoagies and Hops will be going to the MLK Community Center. So one organization paying it forward. Again, the community taking care of itself during these trying times. We'll be bringing you more of these stories about businesses that are remaining open around central Indiana in the days and weeks ahead. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
Okay, well, I know what I'm getting for dinner now. And we are working for you and working together by connecting you to all the resources that are still open to you. Head to our website, theindychannel.com. It's up right now on your screen. When you are there, you'll see an entire list of restaurants and other businesses that are still open to serve you. Kevin?
We've got a number of things to talk about. We'll talk about our rainfall potential as we get to the end of the week into the first part of the weekend. Ready for some temperatures in the 70s? You'll find that in the forecast.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Something we're used to. A little bit of rain this evening in some spots, a little heavier rain shower activity. The temperatures that we have now will only go up, not necessarily overnight tonight. I'm just talking about 24 hours from now, warmer than we are now. Then as we get to Thursday afternoon, warmer and still rising. We're in the mid-40s, obviously, now. The shower's very light from Indy to the north, but right along Interstate 70, picks up a little bit between Terre Haute and just south of Greencastle, closer to Cloverdale. Heavier rain from Seymour up toward Greensburg. Tomorrow's dry. Tomorrow, the best day of the week. I'll give you all the reasons why in a second. Our rain chances increase Thursday, especially Thursday night. And then Friday and Saturday, we've got a plan on periods of rain and some thunderstorms as warmer temperatures move into the state. It's that stretch Thursday night through Saturday night, where we may have fairly widespread 1 to 2 inch rainfall amounts. Isolated spots will be more than that. Here's a more detailed look at rainfall potential. Obviously, each time this happens, when we haven't had a prolonged period to dry out, ground is saturated. Just take a walk through your yard. You'll feel how soft it is. That means flooding becomes more of an issue. But right now, targeting areas south, Bloomington, Columbus, toward the Ohio River, where you may see 2 inches plus. Temperatures tomorrow morning with dry conditions, upper 30s to around 40. The wind will be light. Tomorrow during the day, sunshine, light winds, and temperatures in the low 60s. And the fact that it's dry obviously makes it a great day. Temperatures as we go toward the end of the week in the upper 60s, the warmest day still to come in the forecast. Tomorrow, sunshine returns, temperatures climb around that 60-degree mark, and with the wind not very strong, I think it'll feel warmer than that. These temperatures are above average for this time of year. Thursday will make the move to the mid-60s or warmer as you go to the south. Thursday night, you begin to see rain chances increase again, especially northern half of the state. They'll become far more widespread as we get to Saturday. Notice Saturday's high, 71 degrees. The thunderstorms that develop may be severe late in the day into Saturday night. Just mentioning that now, plant the seed. We'll keep track of that, but it's a definite big temperature change from Saturday's thunderstorms to a dry, cooler, and 55-degree Sunday.
Kevin, thank you. Just last week, the state boys basketball tournament was canceled. Hundreds of players shooting baskets for the final time, but not at Carmel, where the Hounds are staying connected. Sports director Dave First with the Sports Extra Spotlight.
It was a ride tailor-made for something special. Peaking in the postseason was the cause at Carmel, but like the remaining 63 other teams left in the tournament, the championships were called off. This would have been the week for state finals, and here we are not playing any games. This is bizarre.
It is, I think, trying to find our footing, everybody.
Carmel's Ryan Osborne among those wondering what if the rest of the tournament had been played. But the coach of the defending 4A champs then went another way. Your challenge to your guys was what, basically?
You know, when we had the state tournament, and we're pretty big on staying connected. And so you leave on the Friday and you find out that school is going to be out, that the tournament is postponed. And at that point, you assume that, hey, maybe you get an opportunity.
You still had a chance. Anyway.
Yeah. So our deal was, hey, let's stay connected.
It started with players answering the bell by running a mile here or there. Then this was worth a shot, or 300 or so, challenging players and teammates with three-pointers here and free throws there. Bottom line, it's been fun. They're going back and forth. You know, it's a challenge. So.
It is, and now you see some of them with the apps and the shot trackers, and they're running against each
next
other.
level stuff.
It's interesting, and they're experiencing some stuff now that we experienced just through life and how we had to do it. And so now you see them in the driveway, you see them at the park, you see them playing outside without a phone in their face because they're tired of sitting next to mom and dad in the house.
The videos started flooding in, and they continue to. A program that wasn't quite ready to call it a season has it in its own unique way.
Hopefully this takes them a long way. It adds something to their schedule, something to their life that they can benefit from, and not just basketball. I mean, basketball is going to be an end product, but to keep them active, keep them moving.
Challenging times, but champions again. In Carmel, Dave First, RTV6 Sports.
72 months on 12 models.
Well, if you're trying to take a walk in the neighborhood before the sun sets, here's your challenge. You can see the rain along Interstate 70 Terre Haute to just south of the metro area. That continues to move to the east, and it's heavier rain from Columbus to Seymour and North Vernon. That's moving to the north and east. Our temperatures then, as we mentioned, do warm up gradually each day. Guys?
Hey, thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. Our next newscast tonight at 11 for Amanda Startino and Kevin Gregory. I'm Mark Mullins. Have a great evening. See you at 11.